Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clustered Knots, where we discuss life issues and things pertaining to life generally, and just discussing about controversies and issues of life. And for a few episodes now, we've been looking at emotions and just talking about validity of emotions, life experiences around that, and seeing how we can handle our emotions in a better way. And I believe this doesn't just happen at once, but it takes consistency and just changing one thing at a time till we become just the best of ourselves. And to have this discussion with me, I have the amazing Tochi. Welcome, Tochi.
Hi, Toby. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, it's nice having you today.
Very much for having me.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself a bit? Just a few things people can know about you.
Okay, my name is Tochi. Most of my friends actually call me Uncle Tochi, and also I run a podcast as well. A podcast, My View with Uncle Tochi. We talk about issues relating to trending issues, trending topics generally. Millennials, just anything trending, talk about it on my podcast. So
nice having you here once again.
Thank you very much.
And I believe this is going to be a great discussion with you.
Yeah, definitely should be.
So generally, I believe emotions is something we all relate to because we have few experiences on that. Times that we are joyful, times we are a bit sad or a bit down, and maybe a depressing moment in life. And what I just want us to quickly talk about is, I believe there was a time in uni that I felt not so good, and I was taking a walk, and a friend came to me and asked if there was any problem. So I believe at that moment, it wasn't so conscious, but I noticed that how I felt at that moment was all written over my face. And I believe how we feel most times have effect on people around. Have there been any moments in your life that maybe you reacted to an issue in a certain way, or how you felt at that moment affected the people around in that same space?
Oh, okay. Let me just. I guess there have been certain times in my life where I generally, whatever I'm feeling or the way I'm feeling generally affects people around me. It happens. Let me take for example a recent work experience back at work. It mostly happens anytime I'm overwhelmed with something, like possibly when I am in a space and I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, man, what is this? I just generally lash out at people, and definitely I know that is a very wrong thing to do, but it just happens because that is the way I'm feeling at that moment. But definitely it's actually nothing personal, it's just the way I feel at that moment, which is something that's actually very normal because it's your emotions. Sometimes you have control over it, while sometimes you actually do not have control over it, but it's what you do afterwards that actually matter. So it happens.
And is there a way we can actually balance this? Because one thing I'm thinking is, if you're known to react in a certain way, there are situations whereby when you're coming, they already know that this person is coming.
Exactly.
There are some people that are always depressed or down, and when they are coming, people already know that this person is also coming again. So is there a balance to this in a way? Because I believe we cannot always be the same. There are some
exactly.
people that we
You
enter
cannot
a
always
room
be vibey. Exactly. Sure.
And for some people, they're not like that, and you can't just take that away because that's not just who they are. Like,
you have to respect them.
Even is there a balance to expressing your emotions and also just understanding the space or the environment that you are in?
So I think it actually works like this. I think it actually has to do with the people that is in your environment, how they understand you. I think it has to do with understanding. It's a two-way perspective, it's a two-way thing. If the people around you understand you and understand your mood, then you can be able to work around it. And from the individual himself, definitely, I think we should always have control over our emotions. Definitely, you are feeling some kind of way doesn't actually, I don't know, I don't think audacity is a word, doesn't actually give you the leverage to actually like channel that emotion to people around you. I mean, you can just wake up one morning and feel some kind of way and feel like, okay, oh, I'm not talking to Mr. A at work today, I'm not talking to
Yeah.
Mrs. B. It's fine, it's normal. But then again, we should always learn how to accommodate other people irrespective of how you're feeling at that moment. 'Cause at the end of the day, if you get back to your normal mood and you want to talk to those people and they don't interact with you the way you think they should, you should actually not blame them, because I mean, it's the kind of energy you give people that they will reciprocate to you. So I think it's a two-way thing. If they respect you and they understand you, that's fine. But definitely, you should always respect people around you. And yeah, I think we should just
Because
have
it's
control of our emotions. That's just it.
I think having control is so powerful, but also expressing it once in a while is also important, because I feel for some of these extroverts sometimes, because uh, there are times they are going through things and they just want to put this
Be to
happy
themselves.
face,
Yeah, it
or
happens. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Cause
and
me too, I can
then
be like that sometimes. Like when I am just say, oh, I'm not just in the mood to talk to anybody this morning. Just leave me alone. Just let me be. When I'm back to my mood, then we can talk. And I think people around me understand that that is who I am. It happens, but yeah,
so keeping it real most times is also important when you feel
exactly. I
some way.
mean, you actually don't have to fake it.
That's powerful. And something I'm still looking at is there are situations whereby some people come after you intentionally, or maybe they even come for you. Like maybe you've done something wrong, unnecessarily not even doing something wrong. And I believe these things gets to us as humans. So there are situations whereby you know that this person hates you, and their plan is just to get you angry. So have you been in that space, or most times you are loved by everyone?
Definitely, you cannot be loved by everyone. Even Jesus Christ, even Jesus Christ wasn't loved by everyone. So that is just like the irony of life. That is just like life itself. You can. It's not possible for you to be loved by everyone. There are moments whereby people will talk shit at your back and everything. Okay, I've had an experience with I think a colleague sometime not too not too long ago. I mean, the energy the person was giving me wasn't what I expected from the person, and due to heightened tension, I lashed out at the person. And I mean, I knew it wasn't the right thing to do, but that was how I felt at that moment. I think the best thing to remedy such situation, or for such situation not to happen, is when such situations happen, when you find yourself in such situations, I believe there is this thing that you should just do, and I think it works. Just actually, you just taking a deep breath and just letting it go. I know it's very hard for lots of people to do that, because I mean, trust me, it's not easy. People will get on your
Yeah.
nerves. People will get on your nerves. It happens, but I think it's the way you control your emotions, because it is you. You have power over. You should have power over your emotions, not the other way around. So I think it's you. I think it's you just learning to control your emotions and just trying to get away from that situation that actually matters, because at the end of the day you wouldn't regret it. Lashing out at the person, at the end of the day you regret it, but taking control over the situation and being the bigger person actually saves you from a whole lot of drama in that particular situation. So yeah.
But in cases like this, because there was a day, not even quite long, I had issues with my bank, and the crazy thing about it is they weren't doing a lot when I've been talking to them, politely. But when I reacted, I think they had to take a serious step as
Oh,
regards
yes,
that. So, and moments like that, you feel like, yeah, it's good to even react this way sometimes, because they get to do some things. So, in situations like that, can you always suggest things like that, or maybe there are better ways to go around it?
I think sometimes violence does it. Does- I think sometimes violence does it because sometimes I think some people do not love it the easy way.
Mm,
But in all, I think it's just easy to go. It's just best you go through the easy route and go through the
mm,
best route
mm,
instead of the whole violence thing. Yeah, you must have done that whatever you did initially for
mm,
you to salvage that situation. But I think the best route is just to go about it in a very civilized manner. Yeah,
mm,
so you don't
mm.
end up regretting certain actions.
Yeah, that's really important. At least just take steps in which you will not regret later on. Negative feedback. How were you able to handle stuff like that? Even, I think you mentioned already situations whereby you had to react. Do you always react to all negative feedbacks, or you just let some slide?
Most times I let some slide. Most times I can't help but react, and I don't really regret because it's something when people get on your nerves. It takes a whole lot of what's the word, um self control. Yeah, self control for you to not
Mm,
react. Because I mean, humans will always be humans, and they will definitely get on your nerves. But yeah, it's actually not every time I react, but most times I react. Trust me, I'll be like, "Oh, I should have handled this better." But it is what it is.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm. So of course, I believe with time we continue to learn how to
yeah,
handle
definitely,
situations better
definitely,
based on that.
definitely.
And in situations after such situations, do you go apologize or you just let things slide?
Most times I apologize. Most times I just let things slide, and we just get back to mutual terms. Like we just get our mutual vibes back. Like it just happens. Like it
Mm,
just comes naturally. But sometimes I
mm,
apologize. Sometimes it's just hard. I just let us just let everything just get back to normal, Jerry. It's not compulsory. I must apologize to you. Though humans are an
yeah,
ego, it happens. But yeah, sometimes I
yeah,
apologize.
that's true.
Sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I beg. Let's just do our thing. Let's just
let's
let's
move
move
on.
on. If it's meant,
Mm,
if we are meant to like get back to mutual terms, yes. If we are not
mm.
meant to get back to mutual terms, then it is what it is. Just move on and forge ahead.
Do your mood affect your thoughts and decision making? There are times you just
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. Trust me, it does. I mean, once I'm vibey and everything, cool decision making. But once I'm pissed off and yeah,
so,
I'm always hasty in making decisions, and that's one part of my life I'm trying to
mm,
like
work
trying
on.
to
Okay.
rectify. Because I mean, such hasty decisions, you make it at that moment, and at the
You
end of the day, you
regret.
regret
Yeah.
it. So yeah, that is one part I'm trying to sort out in my life. And yeah, when I'm angry at that moment, just take a break, and yeah, that break actually
Mm,
helps. It helps you get back your sanity back and make right
mm.
decisions. Yeah,
I
so
think it,
trust me, sometimes when
mm,
I'm angry, I make hasty, rash decisions which are not supposed to be so.
mm.
Yeah.
So I think a major take home today that I've been seeing from all our points is, of course, after making some decisions and you're not so cool with them, like you regretted making those decisions, it's better you review things that you've done in periods like that. And be careful of
Exactly.
decisions you
Yeah,
make and
exactly.
regret later. Like so, your final thoughts on emotions generally, because I think today we looked more on the negative aspects of emotions, like when you're overly angry and all of that. But I believe there must have been times where you're also joyous or you're so joyful and you took decisions. Have they all been good decisions?
Yeah. Um, let's see, like 90%. They've been good decisions. I mean, people actually make. Mm, most times, people make good decisions when they are in a very good mood. Most times, when you're overly excited, you just rush in making decisions that you might not actually really like. But yeah,
Mm. But
most
really to
time,
be compared to
yeah, not to be compared
the
to
sad
when, yeah,
moments.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's better. Yeah. So, your final thoughts on emotions generally? What you would advise people out there to
So yeah, and
to do in situations generally?
yeah, okay. So I think emotions are actually a very valid part of our lives, which
Mm,
which shouldn't be taken for granted. The way your partner feels should matter to you. Your partner's emotions should matter to you. Your
mm,
emotions actually don't matter too. So when
mm,
you are not in that very good mood, I guess you should take a break. And
mm,
I think it's relatively valid for you, for people around you to understand who you are, if you're introverted, if you're extroverted, or if you are a bit of both of them. That's an ambivert. So they understand,
mm,
okay, this moment, when I'm looking at this guy, he's not actually in a very good mood. Let me give him his space. Or okay, this
mm,
guy is in the mood. Let's vibe and all. I think people should learn to respect people's emotions when someone is giving you a vibe that okay, I'm not in this mood. Please do well to respect the person, not trying to
mm,
force the person, because I know the first person might react in a way that you might not like, and that might not be the person, that might not be who that person is, but because of how that
mm,
person is feeling at that moment, the person might react in a way you might not like, and it might cause some friction between you and that person. So I think people should learn
mm,
to respect people's emotions, and yeah,
mm,
in a long run, it would help foster great relationship amongst ourselves. So yeah, that's
mm.
what I think.
Thank you for that. As you've said, emotions are valid. Like, understand that it's a valid part of you, and respect people's emotions to respect even your own emotions. When you feel some way, understand that that's how you feel. That's when you can even work on it if you need to work on it. And when someone is feeling some way, to understand that, oh, maybe they are going through this at this time, and
Just let them
at
be.
least yeah, let them be for that. Thanks a lot. I believe it must have taken a lot to just be able to do this, and I
Oh,
really
it's
appreciate.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm glad I was able to do this with someone. All the time I've always having people on my podcast, but I've not like. I think this is like the first time I'm on someone else's podcast, and it feels so good. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. So thank you guys, and hope to see you next week. And please, if you have not listened to the other episodes, go listen, subscribe, like, and share. See you next week.
Bye.